God's grace, a gift we don't deserve. Grace. It's a word that carries immense weight and profound meaning. We hear it in songs, sermons, and prayers, but do we truly grasp its depth? It's a word we hear often. In the hustle and bustle of our daily lives, grace might seem like a distant concept, something abstract and intangible. But what does it truly mean? Grace is more than just a word, it's a divine gift that transcends human understanding. It's the unmerited favor of God, a blessing that we receive without any effort on our part. Grace is God's love for us, given freely. We don't earn it, we can't buy it, it's a gift. Imagine receiving a present that you didn't ask for, one that you didn't even know you needed. That's what grace is like. The story of the Exodus is a powerful example of God's amazing grace. When the Israelites were trapped in slavery, God intervened. He didn't just set them free, He led them to a land flowing with milk and honey. It reminds us that God sees our suffering. He hears our cries. In our darkest moments when we feel abandoned and alone, God's grace is there, offering hope and deliverance, and He will deliver us. Just as He parted the Red Sea for the Israelites, He can make a way for us where there seems to be no way. God's grace is always there, even when we don't deserve it. He loves us unconditionally. Like a shepherd guiding his sheep, He leads us with care and compassion. His love is a powerful force that can overcome any obstacle. It's like a mighty river breaking through barriers, unstoppable and relentless. Or like a lion protecting its cubs, fierce and unwavering. In the Exodus story, we see this love in action. The Israelites' journey from slavery to freedom is a testament to God's unwavering grace and love. God's grace sets His people free. It breaks the chains that bind us and leads us to a place of promise and hope. This grace is a gift we don't deserve, yet it is given to us freely, out of God's boundless love. The Israelites cry for help, a people longing for freedom. Imagine living in slavery where every day is a struggle for survival. The Israelites endured this harsh reality for generations, working long hours under a cruel sun. Their bodies ached from the relentless labor. The scorching heat was unforgiving, and there was no respite. They toiled from dawn till dusk, their sweat and tears mingling with the dust of the earth. Your people are treated harshly, with no mercy shown by their oppressors. The overseers were brutal, their whips cracking through the air, leaving marks on the backs of the Israelites. The cries of the oppressed echoed through the land, a constant reminder of their suffering. You cry out for freedom, but your pleas seem to fall on deaf ears. The longing for liberation grows stronger with each passing day. The Israelites yearned for a life where they could live with dignity and hope, free from the chains of bondage. This was the reality for the Israelites in Egypt. They were a people trapped in a cycle of despair, their spirits crushed under the weight of their oppression. The Pharaoh's demands were relentless, and there seemed to be no end in sight. They were forced to build cities and work the fields for Pharaoh. The grand structures of Egypt were built on the backs of the Israelites, their labor a testament to their endurance. They constructed monumental cities, their hands shaping the very stones that would stand for millennia. Their lives were filled with pain and hardship. Every day was a battle against exhaustion and despair. The weight of their suffering was immense, and it seemed as though there was no escape from their plight. They longed for a day when they could be free. The hope for freedom was a flickering flame in their hearts, a light that refused to be extinguished. They dreamed of a future where they could walk as free men and women, no longer bound by the chains of slavery. They cried out to God for help. They prayed for deliverance, their voices rising in unison, a chorus of desperation and hope. They believed that their cries would reach the heavens, that God would hear their pleas and come to their aid. Their cries did not go unanswered. God heard their prayers. He saw their suffering and felt their pain. The divine light of hope began to shine upon them, a beacon of promise in their darkest hour. He knew it was time to act. The moment had come for divine intervention. God, in His infinite wisdom and compassion, decided to free His people from their bondage. He would not let their suffering continue. God would free His people. The promise of liberation was at hand. The Israelites would soon experience the joy of freedom, their chains broken, their spirits lifted. They would walk out of Egypt as a testament to God's power and love. He would show them His power and love. Through miraculous acts and divine intervention, God would demonstrate His might and compassion. The Israelites would witness wonders beyond their imagination, their faith renewed and their hope restored. Moses, the humble shepherd chosen by God. God chose a man named Moses to lead his people out of slavery. Moses was a shepherd, a humble man. He wasn't looking for power or glory, but God saw something special in him. He saw a man of faith and courage. God appeared to Moses in a burning bush. He gave Moses a mission, to go to Pharaoh and demand the release of the Israelites. Moses was afraid. He doubted himself. He said, "Who am I to go to Pharaoh?" But God reassured him. He said, "I will be with you." With God's strength, Moses confronted Pharaoh. He demanded freedom for his people. The plagues, God's powerful demonstration. Pharaoh refused to listen to Moses. He refused to acknowledge God's power. So God sent 10 plagues upon Egypt. Each plague was a powerful demonstration of God's might. The Nile River turned to blood. Swarms of locusts covered the land. Boils and darkness tormented the Egyptians. With each plague, Pharaoh hardened his heart. He refused to let the Israelites go. He continued to defy God, but God was patient. He continued to show his power. He wanted Pharaoh to understand the consequences of his actions. 5. The Passover, a night of protection and redemption. The 10th plague was, well, the most devastating. God sent the angel of death to pass over Egypt. This angel would kill the firstborn son in every Egyptian household. But you see, God provided a way for the Israelites to be spared. He instructed them to sacrifice a lamb and put its blood on their doorposts. This act of obedience would mark their homes. The angel of death would pass over them. This event became known as Passover. It's a reminder of God's protection, and it's a celebration of their deliverance. 6. Freedom at last, the Exodus from Egypt. After the 10th plague, Pharaoh finally relented. He let the Israelites go. They were free at last. After centuries of slavery, they were finally going home. They left Egypt with nothing but the clothes on their backs. But they had something far more valuable, their freedom. They had witnessed God's power. They had experienced His love. They were ready to start a new life, a life of freedom and faith. They were ready to follow God wherever He led them. 7. Crossing the Red Sea, a miraculous escape. Pharaoh, however, had a change of heart. He regretted letting the Israelites go. He gathered his army and chased after them. The Israelites were trapped between the Red Sea and the Egyptian army. They were terrified. They thought they were doomed. But Moses reassured them. He raised his staff. God parted the waters of the Red Sea. The Israelites walked across on dry ground. The Egyptian army followed. But God closed the waters over them. The Israelites were safe. They had witnessed another miracle. God had saved them again. 8. A journey of faith, wandering in the wilderness. The Red Sea crossing was just the beginning of their journey. They faced many challenges in the wilderness. They wandered for 40 years. They faced hunger and thirst. They grumbled and complained. But God never abandoned them. He provided for their needs. He guided them with a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. He gave them manna to eat and water to drink. He tested their faith. He refined them through trials. He was preparing them for a new life, a life in the Promised Land. 9. God's grace, a beacon in our lives. Throughout history, there have been countless stories that highlight the profound impact of divine grace. One such story is the Exodus, a powerful testament to God's unwavering love and mercy. The Exodus story is a testament to God's grace. It is a narrative that has been passed down through generations, reminding us of the incredible journey of the Israelites as they escaped the bonds of slavery in Egypt. This journey, fraught with peril and uncertainty, was guided by the hand of God, who provided for His people every step of the way. It reminds us that God is always with us, even in our darkest hours. He hears our cries. He sees our struggles. Just as He was with the Israelites in their time of need, He is with us today, offering comfort and hope when we feel lost and alone. His presence is a constant source of strength, guiding us through the trials and tribulations of life. And He will deliver us. In moments of despair, when the weight of the world feels too heavy to bear, we can find solace in the knowledge that God is our deliverer. He reaches out to us, lifting us from the depths of our struggles and setting us on a path to redemption and peace. Like the Israelites, we may face challenges and uncertainties in our lives. The road ahead may seem daunting, filled with obstacles that test our faith and resilience. Yet, it is in these moments of adversity that we can truly experience the depth of God's grace. His love shines brightest in our darkest hours, illuminating the path forward. But we can be assured that God is faithful. His promises are steadfast and His love is unwavering. When we turn to Him in prayer and seek His guidance, we are reminded of His enduring faithfulness. He is a beacon of hope, lighting our way and providing us with the strength to persevere. He will never leave us nor forsake us. In times of joy and in times of sorrow, God's presence is a comforting embrace, a reminder that we are never truly alone. His grace envelops us, offering reassurance and peace in the midst of life's storms. His grace is sufficient for us. No matter the challenges we face, His grace provides the strength we need to overcome. It is a wellspring of hope, renewing our spirits and giving us the courage to face each new day with faith and determination. His love will see us through. In the embrace of family and the support of community, we see the manifestation of God's love. It is through these connections that we find the strength to endure, the joy to celebrate, and the hope to continue on our journey. Let us remember the Exodus story. Let us hold fast to the lessons it teaches us about faith, perseverance, and the boundless grace of God. As we recount this ancient tale, we are reminded of the enduring power of God's love and the miracles that unfold when we place our trust in Him. Let us be inspired by God's grace. Let it fill our hearts with hope and our lives with purpose. In every challenge we face, let us see an opportunity to grow in faith and to witness the transformative power of God's love. Let us live our lives in gratitude for His unending love and faithfulness. Each day is a gift, a testament to His grace. As we navigate the journey of life, let us do so with hearts full of gratitude, ever mindful of the blessings that surround us and the divine love that guides us.